And there's something wrong with that. Who grew up being told that this was a country for everybody, where you can work hard and get ahead. There's something fundamentally wrong with the idea that a corporation is deemed fit to sway our laws in their favor. They're not people. We're people.
Well, my name's Davis. I'm in Roswell right now, and in 2004 I started a company called Johnny's Grandson. I believe that everyone knows, what the issue is. Everybody knows it, but there isn't political will to do it right. And I think that with the people's backing, I think we can for our country.
So far, it's looking great. I'm glad it's come all the way down to Atlanta from New York, and I'm
came here, I go to Georgia State. I think it was
My name is Benjamin Burchell. I am here because one of those people a year ago, living 3 blocks from the beach, California. Yet being quite a countercultural person myself, and ended up becoming homeless after losing who decided they didn't need our subsidiary anymore. And having spent over, I simply had no money left. And I learned that what I thought before about who this kind of stuff happens to. Oh, this kind of stuff happens to people that deserve it. They did something wrong, they didn't plan correctly, they didn't manage. That so many of us are going through what we're going through no fault of our own. So it's taught me that these things can literally happen to anybody. Something wrong with that. There's something wrong with the American boy who grew up being told that this was a country for everybody, where you can work hard and get ahead, and then have the rug snatched from under you after doing what so-called were the right things. And coming from California, before I moved to Atlanta, one of the things that I became aware of living in the car myself was that this economic collapse
you have to select the nice ones. Let's see. Let's find one from a dictatorship. Let's see if we
an hour, but they couldn't afford to stay in the house that they lived in anymore. They call that the mobile homeless. Living in their cars and their vans. People even living with pets and children in vehicles, just trying to survive because they could no longer afford to keep a house because they couldn't find a job. Before they were being foreclosed on. So I'm here because I know there's something fundamentally wrong with the idea that a corporation is a person and has rights to give money to political parties in whatever amounts they deem fit to sway our law favor. They're not people. we're people. They're not citizens. We're citizens. And really do understand that this is about economics, even if people don't know how to express it. And at rock bottom, it's about people's inability to put food in their mouths, make sure their children are clothed, stay in the home that they have worked hard to pay for, and keep jobs that they shouldn't have lost to people in other countries who get paid slave wages to do what you're doing. Okay, where are you from?
What's the word on the
well,
street?
originally I was born in England, but I've lived in the States for 15 years.
What's the word?
Stoke-on-Trent, industrial part of England. It's in the Midlands.
What's the word on the street?
It's known for its pottery making.
There's a great new season of Sesame Street.
What's the word on the street?
The earlier that you move here, the more easier it is to become encultured. And yeah, I mean, I consider myself American, even though I'm not an American citizen.
Why are you here?
I'm here because I believe in universal human equality, and I believe that there are a lot of injustices being perpetrated today, and we're very complacent to that. And I believe that together, if we can stand as a social movement, we can see policy change as we did in the 60s, and as we've seen in many other countries. A nonviolent, peaceful movement toppled the British Empire in India. So I believe that, we can stand behind change here in the U.S.
What do you do for a living? Or?
Oh, I'm a student. I go here at Georgia State. I'm in my last year. I study political science and history, and I hope to go to law school to...
Usually the one that has more viewers can be nicer. Whatever.
Right, but that's the one that already didn't work.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one. Oh, it's part 3, but...
3, part 2.
That's part 2. Oh, we can try this. Try this one.
It's their responsibility. They're in leadership to promote commerce by spearheading.
Cool.
Second city, third city,
Do it yourself.
third city.
This good baby sound. So
And look at you, bro. The baby.
The very basic habits of the humankind.
okay, and you throw the
Without jobs, that's at the very core of providing our basic.
start.
I mean, food.
So I make another folder with YouTube research. Because it's a lot of garbage, and you put all of those out there. I don't know if it's gonna be worth it or not to me. No, that is strange though.
All right. Well, I understand.
Okay. Maybe because of the connection. I think so. Let's try it with the third one. With the part.
Okay, here's our actual channel too. So that's a good place to start. Same one, but it's a different URL. So let's see if that works.
Okay, but
All right, so we should shoot it as if it's live. Is that correct?
After being not in the song, there's better answers. So that means you're getting recruited. You'll be getting recruited into the Occupy Tech Media Tech team there, but it sounds like it.
It's strange.
Sounds like
anyway, okay, you know already. So for the ones that are like Vimeo or whatever, that you cannot do it in this way, you download it. I have something in my computer that you download it.
Right, I think I have.
They're not going to take it live. They're going to take it as if it's live. They're going to turn the tape around. I guess they don't want all that swearing and everything.
To show you how to do that. Look at that. I want to make a folder of YouTube.
get a flash.
Turn the light on.
by itself.
Okay.
You put this.
Live stream. There's
About
I got it. I've got another.
Okay. So otherwise it's a lot of garbage. So over here you can have more and do a playlist with that takes more videos. Okay, you put it here and things. So the other way is to import it. You say upload video.
What's happening on Justin's side?
It appears here. Okay, but you always have to create a new storyboard that will appear
Jeez.
here.
A bunch
so
of...
you say whatever, okay, and you pick a.
You know, there's only, I would say there's
you click
maybe 75 of these guys all together now.
in your browser, and you take it from here, and you upload it. That's all. It's the two ways. Okay. So afterwards, the broadcast.
I can chase those. I can track GPS tag.
You know, the overlays will come the overlays and the thicker. You don't know? And the brands and the chat.
So, like,
the chat that can be as well producer chat. This you manage this, no? Okay, so it's that so it's manage library and so you go to control autopilot to make the programmation, and you start to throw here
like the order
everything. Yeah. So when it's not on air, autopilot. I want to ask Vlad because it's some way that autopilot off, autopilot. When you are not in air, it goes to autopilot directly. buildings or sea? Buildings or sea or what? Buildings?
And I'll be over here. Hey, I told Zach sometime y'all can meet me in my apartment right across the street.
We here 41 nights. Came here because we spotted a tax man. So we came out to do a tax to the global team. They thought people watching, so I stopped. I work in New York.